being unprepared before has been warning this one could be worse.
Ice is the big danger here. Whereas we did not lose power in the most recent incident, ice, as you know, presents a great challenge.
With the nightmares from the last storm still fresh in the minds of many Georgians, no one is taking any chances. Before any freezing rain or snow fell, schools canceled classes. Many workers were told to just stay home.
Just stay home, stay off the roads. We learned from the last week. It's not a big deal. Just stay off the roads.
A lot of things were sold out. And we're just grocery shopping, and then we're just going to go home and relax for like 2 days and take it easy.
In North Georgia, troopers say road conditions are becoming too dangerous to drive. I-75 has been shut down since this morning due to multiple accidents. Sleet has begun to fall in and around Atlanta, and the mayor has promised to do better treating the roads to avoid a repeat of those terrible traffic scenes.
We have the material that's needed for de-icing in place, and we're partnering with the state.
Air travel is expected to be slow going well, and airlines are warning travelers to pack their patience. More than 1,000 flights canceled at the world's busiest airport, Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson, expected to get hit the hardest. In all, more than 100 million people and at least 16 states, from Texas to New Jersey, are bracing now for the worst. For those in parts of Pennsylvania, this storm will only add insult to injury. They're still recovering from the last one. More than 4,600 homes are still in the dark.
This has been the longest. This is outrageous.
Congressman Hank Johnson of Georgia is with us tonight. He has plans to go back to Georgia on Friday, but we're not really sure that you're going to. What do you think the outlook here is? Obviously, folks back home have tried very hard to get ready for it this time.
Yeah, I think everybody has gone and cleaned out all of the supermarkets, gotten all of the milk and bread and pies and everything.
But really, I mean, in the broader sense, is the state better prepared this time? Is the city better prepared? Because you're right on the edge of Atlanta. So.
Yeah, I believe that this time the error will be on the side of trying to prevent people from getting out. Last couple of weeks ago, we had a situation where it was business as usual. This time, the governor has already declared a state of emergency, and
I'm sure the citizens are going to want to take heed here, but there is always that concern that if you go too soon, that people will start to think you're crying wolf and not listen.
Well, I tell you, I know that the governor will not be taking a chance this time. He will be dealing with this as if it's going to happen. And we can't have children out in school buses for 12 hours.
Once again, right.
Living in schools overnight, parents have to have their children home.
And people spending 12 hours on the highway. Now, I want to point out here, your plan is to go home for Friday, Valentine's Day, to be with your wife. But you're up here in Washington doing the people's business, and you've just been part of the vote in the House on a clean debt ceiling bill. Where is that at, and what is the prospect? Because we were looking to hitting the debt ceiling in just a few days.
Yeah, I'm very heartened that the Speaker of the House allowed the bill to come up to the House of Representatives on the floor before the last day of our solvency as a nation. So we're doing this, we're giving the Treasury Department plenty of time, giving our people across the world, the financial markets, a little more comfort this time, instead of getting right up to the finish line.
So I want to go on to another area of interest, and that is a certain sense that some of our colleagues here at Al Jazeera in our company have been held now quite a long time and in Egypt, and it has been a great concern, and you have stepped up now on this and are putting pressure on the administration as well. What is your action here, and why is it so important?
Well, it's important that this nation stand for basic human rights, and one human right is the ability to communicate. And when we have the press out in the field doing their job, they should not be subject to arrest for doing their job by a country that we are supporting. And so I think it's it's my duty and obligation to recognize the fact that we have journalists, and it doesn't matter whether or not they're from America or whether or not they're European or Arab.
Australian. Or...
It really does not matter. It's the principle of freedom of the press. And America cannot be in a position of supporting a government that is just in your face, abusing people for doing their job of reporting. And so upon reading Mr. Gretzky's account of his incarceration,
in Egypt,
I was moved to do something to bring attention to this, and hopefully that attention will result in the freedom for these 20-plus journalists who are being held in Egypt.
Yes, we have a great deal of concern and appreciate your interest in the case of the Al Jazeera journalists who are being held, as well as the broader questions of freedom of speech there. Appreciate your being with us. Congressman Hank Johnson of Georgia.
Thank you for having me.